Hey guys, we're back with more spooky Reid science, and today we're going to be talking about a lot of people's favorite topic, which is zombies. Now, I won't be getting into zombie makeup and costume again, but I do want to talk about some of these scientific aspects about zombies and zombie culture. Now, zombies are a huge part of pop culture these days, but we have a lot of different scientific takes on the zombie myth, or how it could be spread, or the exact manifestation of the disease, or a virus, or whatever. Now, here's a fun non-science related zombie fact. The movie The Night of the Living Dead is actually under public domain, which means anybody can use it and use its clips, because of an error when they were creating they're copyrighting the name. Let's take it back and talk about some of the more well-known scientific zombie cases out. There is a lot of folklore around bokus, or the witch doctors, in Haiti, and there was a lot of legends about people being turned into zombies down there as well. In 1997, there was an article published in The Lancet entitled, this is a scientific article now, entitled Clinical Findings in 3 Cases of Zombification. What? As it turns out, after DNA analysis, some of the cases of zombies were actually just cases of misidentification and mistaken identity. Now, an anthropologist named Wade Davis got a lot of publicity and press when he was studying these Haitian zombies. Now, the legends surrounding the zombies down there are different depending on who you talk to, but apparently the witch doctors named Bokus would take a special powder, mix it up, and give it to the zombie victim. The victims were then appeared to be dead, were taken, were buried sometimes, and the families were very sad. Later on, the witch doctors would dig up the bodies after they had been turned into zombies with this magical zombie powder, and then sell them into slavery to go work in plantations, harvesting sugarcane. Now, the interesting thing is, one of the components of this boku powder was tetrodotoxin, which is a naturally occurring neurotoxin found in some animals, including pufferfish. That's why it's very dangerous to eat pufferfish. Do not do it. Some people do it in Asia. Very, very dangerous. What TTX does is block sodium channels on the neural membrane. It's going to produce numbness, slurred speech, and possibly paralysis or even respiratory failure and death in severe cases. Authors of these studies note that it's probably unlikely that a single thing can cause the zombified state of these victims. However, tetrodotoxin is present in some of the boku powder. There is a lot of pseudoscience associated with these cases, however. We have to be very skeptical of some of the reports that were seen and heard. Again, lots of mistaken identity cases, and some of these real zombies that were found were actually, in some cases, people with mental health issues. It's also important, too, not to overextend our popular view of zombies towards all of Haitian culture. Now, there are some aspects we can take and maybe sort of extrapolate to where our modern zombie myths came from. However, what we see in films is definitely not what a lot of Haitians believe. There's a great report about how some Haitians view mental illness in Haitian culture, and you can check it out from the World Health Organization in the links to this video. So let's talk about what would actually happen if zombies, were real and there was something that caused our zombie apocalypse. Now, in order for a contagion to spread so rapidly that we have this widespread crazy zombie outbreak, it wouldn't be spread by bite. So rabies, as we've seen, causes a lot of the symptoms and craziness that zombies would. However, the biting part, the transfer in the saliva, is not that effective. Why? We can isolate it very quickly. Epidemiologists love to look at this stuff. And viruses transmitted through bites, such as rabies, don't actually spread that quickly because they can be isolated. But the spread of an airborne virus like influenza could spread rapidly and get a bunch of people across a region very, very quickly. So those are the types of viruses we need to be afraid of. And again, if there were ever a zombie takeover like the one we see in movies, it would probably have to be caused by a man-made pathogen. It is very unlikely that the viruses we currently know of would suddenly mutate to become airborne. What's something else that would be helpful during the zombie apocalypse? Well, animals. Scientists have actually taken dead corpses for scientific research purposes to see how long they would last and what would happen to them in an outdoor setting. At Texas State University, their anthropologic research facilities took a dead body, put it outside, and the vultures came very quickly. So animals are actually our first line of defense against these dead bodies that would be coming up to attack us. Anything that smells like rotting corpse is going to attract birds of prey very, very quickly, and not just vultures. Other things like crows, hawks, things are going to start flocking towards these corpses and be able to devour them really fast. If we have a group of vultures descending on one corpse, it can reduce it to pretty much nothing but bones in about 5 hours. That takes care of a zombie for us. Okay, so let's say we have some virus or illness that's spreading through a major city very, very quickly. Scientists have also checked out the pathways and where the safest spots would be, and obviously the cities would go first. There's a lot of people condensed into a small area, and the safest place would actually be a place where populations are spread out, where there are natural barriers such as the Rocky Mountains. So in case of zombie apocalypse, head toward the mountains and you should be good to go. Alright, so if you're interested in this kind of stuff, I definitely recommend checking out some of the links below. So not only the zombie stuff is fun and it's a good part of pop culture, but it's interesting to look at the epidemiology of these things, and there actually are real-life applications, especially when talking about widespread viral outbreaks, things like our Ebola virus, things like influenza, again, things like H1N1. We need to think critically about these types of outbreaks in order to survive them as a human race. That one wasn't too scary, right? Alright, I'll see you guys later.